This is my moment to stand here as an army and say, I told you so. I told you so. I told everyone I was right. Everyone complained about how BTS is not live streaming the first concert. How can they do this? It's so unfair. Blah, blah, blah. I said, let's just wait. Maybe they will announce it soon or maybe later, but it's impossible for them to have the first concert and not live stream it in some way. Let's see this. Because we have the live streaming and we have the cinema. BTS World Tour ARIRANG in Goyan online live streaming. Thursday, April 9th, Saturday, April 11th, and Sunday, April 12th. The live stream is all 3 days. What is not going to be the 3 days is the movie theater. Join BTS live in cinemas around the world. Goyan, April 11th, and Tokyo, April 18th. So this is for Goyan day 2, I believe, and Tokyo day 2.
I need to say something.
Okay.
I was at work and I get Namjoon, your man, posted a story.
Mm-hmm.
I so innocently opened the story at work. I gasp. I was like, I opened the Instagram post and it was the 7 of them. And then I don't remember nothing else because I passed out. Like, no, honestly.
This is what I saw. So they don't show them. Of course, that's JK.
I'm sorry.
So this was the teaser, and then there was some controversy. At first, this was GQ US and British GQ, and they don't have the best track record about BTS. This is a post from 2022. They said, this K-pop artist was selling out Seoul stadiums before BTS was even a petri dish in a K-pop factory farm. If you want to say that this K-pop artist is more fashionable or whatever, like they were fashionable first, why bring BTS down and call them this? Like, this is disgusting. K-pop factory farm? Just say that you like this person's fashion or style. Like, why do this? A lot of armies, of course, didn't like this at all. And I saw the real post hours ago. It was up for all of these years since 2022 to today. Only a couple of hours ago, they deleted this post.
Crazy.
Now, I do have to say this. On a magazine and on newspapers, there's different writers and different photographers. The people who worked on this article, you can see here their names. It's 3 people. But the person working on BTS's issue is very excited. He never did write something like this about BTS.
Also, some people are saying that this is GQ US, not British UK. GQ.
Yes, so actually, it seems like at the beginning, for some reason, I saw everywhere that this is the first time that BTS is on the cover of British GQ. I don't know why that was like the headline in some ARMY fan bases. So I was like, okay, it's then from British GQ. And that's why this was brought up. But then people said, no, it's actually from GQ US. And then we saw it absolutely everywhere. It looks like this is a global issue, not just from the US, not just from British GQ. It's for every single version of GQ in the world. Of course, a lot of people are making parallels between this and Mic Drop, the beginning of Mic Drop, when they are there at the table, a conference with the mics.
To me, reminded me of all those conferences with the journalists asking disrespectful questions and they'd be like,
The concept is similar to what you're saying because the cover literally says BTS is back. Any questions? That's the title. Now, let's read the article because we have Man Thee Stallion, we have Chris Martin, we have Halsey. Everyone is here. Let me make it smaller because it's too big. Sorry. A little sarcasm there.
oh my goodness, hurry up! I want to see.
BTS begins again. We do 6 days a week like businessmen, says RM, the band's leader. They followed a strict routine, training together in the gym in the morning, coming back home for lunch, reporting to the studio by 1 p.m., and working with various songwriters and producers on new songs until 8 p.m., after which they'd all go back home. RM went live on Weavers and confessed to fans that he had thought of disbanding the group thousands of times ahead of their comeback. The livestream sent shockwaves through ARMY. Adorable, representative, MC for youth. Now, Raymond, you can say like some of our business, but not all of it. Okay, like this is too personal.
Raymond, you be loud.
This is our government name. We don't say the government name, okay?
Adorable representative. This is personal business.
Don't expose us like this.
You don't need to be saying this in the GQ magazine. Like,
address us by our stage name, ARMY. The live stream sends shockwaves through ARMY, the band's exceedingly global, impressively strategic, and lovingly protective fan base. The personal pressure is huge, he said on the December 6th live stream. Since last month, I haven't been able to sleep. I was thinking about whether I should get a prescription for sleeping pills. I wondered thousands of times, would it be better for the team to disband or go on hiatus? Do you remember that live stream? That entire thing about sleeping pills and all of that. The strain is understandable. The stakes are almost too high. Nearly 6 years on from their last studio album, can BTS, which stands for Bangtan Sonyeondan or Bulletproof Boy Scouts and later evolved into Beyond the Scene, once again, spilling out all of our secrets, like we don't talk about Beyond the Scene. BTS doesn't remember that.
There's no need of saying what the letters stand for.
Let's just say Bangtan Sonyeondan. We don't talk about the Beyond the Scene era because BTS totally forgot about that, okay? BTS,
they don't even know her, like...
I think it's RM's love language to ARMY in a way, says Jimin. It really shows how emotionally invested he is in the group and in ARMY as well. I think it was very RM to be vulnerable and say things like that. They just share a strong bond with each other and genuinely communicate as a group, said Megan Thee Stallion, who collaborated with the band on the Butter remix and with RM on her single Never Play. It's so rare to see that collective level of humility, love, and teamwork, but it's a special dynamic. What I feel about the 7 BTS guys, said Coldplay frontman Chris Martin, is that they have been, it seems, from knowing them a bit, made closer by that very intense process of becoming stars. Martin and Coldplay collaborated with BTS on the #1 hit, My Universe. I was really happy that it seemed like they had each other's backs. They are very tight personally and they intertwine well. There are distinct roles. The love between them is real. That was the most striking thing. Love in a very intense situation. At a certain point, just like you can't really understand what makes music magical, I think it's the same with bands, Martin continued. And that's why we love bands sometimes. We don't really know why. Why is this group of 7 people a magical thing, bigger than the sum of its parts? Beyond the fact that they work extraordinarily hard and that they are kind to each other and they love what they do, there's a certain magic that I don't know how to explain. Suga, for example, served as a public service worker reportedly due to a shoulder injury, going from headlining stadiums around the world to clocking in at an office. That is crazy. I was actually never ever late to the office, he says proudly. I always came in 10 minutes early. I got ready for whatever I had to do for the day. It was at first weird for me to always get to some place on time and always go home at the same time, but I got used to it. And later it just became part of me. That routine eventually influenced his music making too. Before I went to the service, I would usually work on music at nighttime or very late at night, but I actually used the daytime to work on songs after I just got discharged. It was before we all got discharged from the military service, and Jungkook cried. He bawled, V says, recounting his bandmates' desire for the group to reunite in earnest. Jungkook cried because he really wanted to be on stage and he just really wanted to perform. This was in the middle of the military service, by the way. That was before they got discharged. Here we have Halsey's statement. The pop star Halsey, who worked with the band on the 2019 hit Boy With Love and worked with Suga separately on her Manic album and a reimagining of her song Lilith, paid close attention to each member's artistry. They have all had such unique solo journeys that truly reflect their individual style and strengths, she said in an email. I wasn't surprised, necessarily, but really impressed with how tastefully their solo work was handled. I think the most exciting thing about everyone's projects was getting to see them flourish as songwriters and watch their personal flair come front and center. Last year, ARMY even sent a 7-year-old BTS song up the charts again as a way of communicating a message to the members. The 2018 single Ampangman reached #1 on Billboard's World Digital Song Sales chart and in over 75 countries. When I mentioned the feat to the band, they're visibly moved. I'm very touched, says Jimin. I don't even know how to give all the love back because I've received so much and the love is so unconditional. I'm always thinking about how I could give back with better performances, better songs. songs for the Ampamang project. I remember sharing like the posters and all of that. And then we did it and we were like, hopefully like BTS can see it, because it was waiting for your Ampamang, waiting for you BTS. That was the tagline of the entire project. And I remember like sharing all of that and how we went #1 after so many years. Now they get to know about the project and Jimmy is like, no, we need to repay them somehow. I'm so glad that they saw it. During that dark time, on nights when she would have to force herself to stay awake while keeping watch over my grandmother, who was breathing through an oxygen concentrator, my mother would watch YouTube videos of the Bangtan Boys on her phone. She knew to only watch on the official BTS channels, so the views counted. She's army. They keep me company during those late nights, she tells me now. There were so many problems, but I would watch their videos and for a moment, they would make me smile. In the earlier days of showbiz, there's so much going on and your lifespan can be pretty short in the business, he says, reflecting on that time in their life together. I was worried until when we would be able to do this. But now I ask the same question under a positive light. We are still very good friends. The fans still love us. They want us. They support us. If we can keep this going, then maybe we can be dancing in our 60s as long as we're willing. I think maybe into our 50s, into our 60s, we can always be together as a band. Suga always with the 60s comment. He wants to be performing at 60 years old.
With BTS, of course.
Then looking at the 6 bandmates he's already lived a few lifetimes with, Suga smiles and says, maybe it'll be a little bit hard on our knees, but I think we can do that. That's the end of it.
With a reflection of the future and what the future holds.
Let's talk about this project. I'm seeing so many armies very excited about this. I'm going to say maybe I'm completely delusional and now I'm traumatized. I feel like this is not from BTS. Let me explain why. This was released first. Celebrate BTS's upcoming album with a special floral wall. Stop by, pick a complimentary rose and reveal a hidden message inside. It says February 14th from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. It looks like the Groove, which is the place, they posted it on TikTok. I go to TikTok and I look everywhere. It's nowhere to be found. So my question is, why would they delete this? This is the only thing that I can think of. Maybe the place wanted to do like a fan project event. Since they are saying, no, like roses from BTS, maybe there's a copyright problem and it's like they cannot say that this is from BTS because this is not a hype, big hit BTS event. Maybe it is, and maybe they ruined the surprise and they're trying to hide it and delete everything. So it's a surprise. I don't know. After that, armies found this in the UK. This says, London Army, I think we might want to head to Covent Garden tomorrow because they're building a specially branded rose wall right now. We'll see what happens. Hopefully we're not clowns again. Last time we talked about how I was so traumatized and being delusional. It turns out that the second theory was correct because all of these projects are related to BTS, are related to What Is Your Love Song, and these were real. You guys were correct. BTS website released this page and you can share your love song with BTS. Check out the submission guidelines before beginning. So you write here your name, the artist, for example, BTS, and the name of the love song, for example, Spring Day. This is in Seoul. What is your love song? London. What is your love song? And they were waiting for LA, but you can see here, what is your love song? What is your love song? So pretty with the flowers. Here is Roses from BTS. Wall event has started in the group LA, USA. They timed it perfectly. With Valentine's Day, the comeback coming soon, it was a great idea. BTS's hidden message on the rose wall is now revealed. What is your love song? Is spotted in South Korea in commemoration for Valentine's Day. Take a rose to your Valentine. During the event, you'll receive a card with a QR code that links BTS's page to What Is Your Love Song. Around Times Square, all of these posters, just randomly on the sidewalk. This really surprised me. They are working with YouTube for this huge billboard. The members posted with the Instagram filter. The non-fans are taking pictures with these billboards because they are so universal. It's about what is your love song, about love. This is a random person taking a picture or a random couple taking a picture. It was a great idea to do on Valentine's Day. Definitely. It is official. Jungkook is the newest global ambassador of Hublot. Am I pronouncing it right? Hublot, Jungkook did attend an event. This is from Mary Claire Korea. Here's Jungkook entering the venue, saying hi. The little dance, look at this. This post that says, imagine being a CEO and your newly appointed ambassador for your brand is out here at your event making you do aegyo for the cameras. This was hilarious. Jungkook starts teaching this man to do the hearts with the cheeks. It's pronounced Hublot. Hublot. He's saying, hi Harper's Bazaar, Singapore. Hello, this is BTS Jungkook. Hublot constantly innovates to create creative designs. So we're working together.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
New Jungkook reaction just dropped, everybody. I love Jungkook's reactions because his expressions, the expressions on his face, they're very, very like out there. Let's talk about what happened on
Yes,
his
please.
Instagram stories. In the Instagram story here at the top, you can see an article about Taeyeon's private conversations with Min Hee-jin. Let's remember, Taeyeon and Min Hee-jin worked together on his debut album Layover. Since he is sharing the messages, I'm going to talk about what exactly he said on the messages, but also it looks a little bit out of context and I just don't understand why this was shared at all. It was about that entire situation of Min Hee-jin accusing a newer group of copying her group. In the private messages, it seemed like he was saying like, oh sure, but also it was a very short message. So we don't really see the context of everything. That's what we can guess it is about. The annoying part about this is that these messages were part of the trial, the Min Hee-jin trial. And my question is, why? Like, I'm sorry, we love Taeyeon. Taeyeon's opinion or his private conversation or even like consolation doesn't matter in a trial. Like, why would anyone's opinion matter if they are not executives part of this trial? Why would his private messages even because they're like part of evidence? I just don't understand why those would be submitted. What Taeyeon is saying is that it is very disappointing that this
He didn't give no consent.
Exact. It was without his permission. He writes, this was part of a private, everyday, casual conversation shared with someone I was acquainted with, which is why I spoke with empathy. I have no intention whatsoever of taking anybody's side. However, I am very taken aback by the fact that this conversation was submitted as evidence without my consent or permission. That is already horrible, right? But it seems like his messages will be sealed. We would not be able to see them. If the media is sharing these, it's because somebody sent these messages to the media. And who wrote this article with these messages? Someone who only writes positive articles about Min Hee-jin, allegedly. Someone is saying that this is just part of a media cycle and it will pass. And of course,
I don't see how this should be part of our drama. I mean, we are supposed to be thinking about BTS's comeback. And I agree 100% because we worry about the BTS comeback. This is just a channel where we address news. And this is part of the news. And that's
yes,
it. That's the only reason why.
Exactly, because sometimes I feel like when I receive those comments, it's like, let's just move on and not pay attention to it. Taeyeon is talking about it on his Instagram stories. I have to explain the background, the situation, his response. I need to go over this.
Also, like, I feel like anytime BTS speaks about anything, we do have to address it, because if we don't address it, it's like, literally Taeyeon spoke about this. Why are you not speaking about it?
So this was on Taeyeon's Instagram stories, and then he released a statement to the press. It has been confirmed that what I said was merely to express my sympathy in a private conversation with an acquaintance, and that I did not agree with the specific remarks made by the other party. It has been understood that the artist V also wanted to express his dissatisfaction with the fact that the contents of a private conversation were submitted as trial materials without his consent. So that's that, and that ends there. Okay, let's see J-Hope singing happy birthday to himself. Oh, by the way, this is with the translation by High Boy. So if there's any other second voice, it's High Boy, not J-Hope.
J-Hope, happy birthday to me. 생일 축하합니다. Happy birthday, J-Hope. 생일 축하합니다. Happy birthday, bro.
Always.
Happy birthday, bro. 축하해 주려고 또 이렇게 왔다.
You would think that they someday would end the happy birthday, bro.
No,
every
they're
single
never.
year.
They're going to be 60 years old.
They're
and they're
literally-
happy birthday, bro.
They're like 30 plus, and they keep going, happy birthday, bro, since they were young. Like, I love it.
그 케이크 내가 준비한 거 알지? 그쵸 그쵸 다
You know, I prepared the cake, right? I prepared the cake.
Yeah, right.
진영이 준비했다고.
Yes, I told them already. I said Jin Hyung prepared it.
하는 거에 대해서 어떻게 생각하세요? 그룹으로?
How do you feel about going back on tour as a group?
저는 재밌을 것 같아요. 지금 요즘
I think
맨날 하는
He said, I think it'll be fun. These days, we keep saying, you know, we each have our own shoots and schedules and things. And then when we come back for group shoots, we're like, oh, yo, group stuff is fun. Group shoot is fun. We say that all the time. It's just funny.
정국이가 그런 말 많이 해.
Oh, especially Jungkook says that a lot.
Isn't that so cute? Like they
Period.
forgot how fun it was. And the one who is especially saying this is Jungkook. Finally, the last moment of the live stream is actually my favorite because what he says is so iconic.
약간 실망도 큰 법이잖아요. 근데
Normally, if you raise expectations too much, the disappointment can be bigger.
기대를 시켜드리고 싶어요.
Listen.
But I actually want to raise your expectations this time.
Oh my God.
He's saying this time I want to raise your expectations.
Okay.
So my expectations are already very high and I'm still ready to be surprised because they're going to surprise us.
Honestly, I'm so nervous.
For someone as humble as Hobby to say this, it's about to be detrimentally serious.
Yes.
Okay, what did J-Hope do for his birthday? He went live on Weavers with ARMY and he donated so many times. So first, we have this. J-Hope has donated 100 million won to support the dreams of students at his former schools for his birthday. He's been providing scholarships to students at his alma mater who face economic difficulties that hinder their studies so they can pursue their dreams without being discouraged by their circumstances. And then we have this other news article that says J-Hope also donated 200 million won to support the development of the children's hospital for his birthday. He stated, I believe that children will one day move toward a hopeful future. I'm grateful to be able to practice meaningful sharing this year on my birthday, following last year. The hospital plans to use J-Hope's donations to improve medical facilities and environments for pediatric and adolescent patients, operate home-based medical care for severely ill children, and run psychological healing programs. So first he donates to students and then he donates to hospitals. And finally, we have these. J-Hope also donated 50 million won to pets. He added 50 million won from his personal funds to the proceeds from the previously held auction of products in collaboration with Human Made and donated it to animal protection organizations. Now we
¿Quién? Who did this? I mean, Namjoon did it, but who made that picture?
Namjoon writes, happy birthday. This is crazy. The fact that Namjoon posted this for J-Hope's birthday is absolutely diabolical. It's absolutely
And
crazy.
phenomenal at the same time.
Yes, it's iconic. Compare that to Taeyoon's birthday post. This one's so cute. And here we have J-Hope's Instagram story video.
Diantre, pero mira ese pastelazo. Wonderful!
Woo! There, J-Hope says, I will wish for the good health of our staff. Suga is there.
Yeah,
Oh,
he's
yeah.
talking.
I did see him, but I didn't notice he talked. We've celebrated 3 times today. And J-Hope says, having your birthday when you have promotional schedules is great.
Let's go. Thank you so much,
Thank you so much,
guys. Thank you for
everyone.
having me today. See you guys next week.
Bye, everyone.